Welcome to Week 3 of Ohio Football 2015. It's a big week. It's 2-0 Ohio and the 2-0 out of the FCS Southeastern Louisiana Lions. I'm Russ Eisentstein, and our Game Week preview is presented by Don Wood Toyota of Athens on the web at donwoodtoyota.com. It's a big week because you'd like to have a lot of big buildup in advance of the battle against the Big Ten and the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the Twin Cities in Week 4. You can't be undefeated going into Week 4 unless you take care of business in Week 3. You'd like to keep the momentum rolling after wins over Idaho and Marshall. The Bobcats have been immune to those FCS over FBS upsets in the Frank Solich era. The Cats are 9-0 under Frank Solich against 1AA competition in his tenure. 2005 was really the line in the sand, the demarcation line, and the biggest upset of them all, the FCS over FBS upsets, occurred at the Big House when Appalachian State, now Division 1A, got the better of Michigan there. From 2000 to that day, there were a grand total of 10 FCS over FBS upsets. From that day to right now, there have been 32. There were 7 back in 2013. There were 8 last year, 2 against MAC competition as Eastern Kentucky got Miami and Ball State fell to Indiana State. To this point this year, there have been 4. Wyoming got North Dakota, South Dakota State hopped past Kansas, Fordham got Army, and Portland State popped Washington State on the Palouse. Why is this happening more and more? Well, these teams are better now. This is probably the best era of FCS football. Scholarship limitations on the highest level forces more and more teams on the second highest level to get some good players. And of course, those 1A transfers going down to 1AA schools, that's big as well. Facilities are big. All the infrastructure and more money going into these programs, that's certainly helped all the wins. The Lions aren't going to be scared coming into Peden Stadium to take on the Cats, and they've had a most very interesting history. At the end of a 2-8 1985 season, Southeastern Louisiana didn't have football anymore. The program was eliminated. It was reborn in 2003, and their 22-17 win over Arkansas Monticello in that season's opener will forever rank as one of the most important victories on one of the most important days in the school's history. It was a day, they say, that marked the return of the Roar, which is similar to Ohio football's 2015 season motto. Because of NCAA probation they still operate under, 20 victories from 2005 to 2009 were vacated. After 2 more losing seasons, Ron Roberts took over as head coach. A 5-6 2012 was a prelude to a championship. 2 of them. The Lions are back-to-back defending Southland Conference champs. They beat conference mate Sam Houston State in the 2013 playoffs, lost to the Bearcats in round 1 last year. Southeastern is 24-7 in its last 31 games. This year, the Lions won the opener, which was a league opener, 34-20 over Northwestern State, and they won their home opener last week over Division II Florida Tech, 28-17. Last week, they forced 9 turnovers. 3 were returned for touchdowns. They lead the FCS in sacks, interceptions, and turnovers. DB Demarie Lane had 2 interceptions last week. 1 was returned for the game-sealing score, and he's a Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week. They did lose their starting quarterback in Week 2. Deshae Lander was hurt early. Utah transfer, 6'5 freshman Donovan Eisen takes his place. The Lions average 344 yards per game, but have only 83 yards total through the air. Based on my research, Ohio has never played a school from the Southland Conference before, but they have taken care of business against schools from Louisiana in recent memory. 2 victories over the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette and the 2012 Independence Bowl win over Louisiana Monroe. If Ohio gets the victory, it will be the 75th in the Cat tenure for head coach Frank Solich. It's Parents Weekend, so welcome to town, parents. I'm sure your children are studying like champions, and they're having a little bit of fun here in Athens as well. And it's Military Appreciation Day. We thank those that have and continue to serve so we can enjoy football on a beautiful Saturday afternoon at Peden Stadium. It's on the Ohio IMG Sports Network at 1 o'clock with the kick at 2. Rob Cornelius and Ryan Boyd will paint the picture with me. It's also on ESPN3. Our friend Dave Weekly will have the call there. All right, we've got you set. It's Ohio and Southeastern Louisiana, and our Game Week preview is presented by Don Wood Toyota of Athens. For Derek Mashiro, I'm Russ Eisentstein. This is Bobcat TV.